Let's do some practice matches with the Multifaceted style with Viktoria in the Tour 7 of Tennis Clash, a sports game published by Wi-Fi Studios. So we start with a player having high stats, a counterpunch, sure. Here we go. Yes, he knows how to do drop shots, of course. So this opponent has 75 agility, 60 forehand and 59 backhand, which is pretty good for Kaito. And he's leading, plus he's using the Toro Twine, which is a bit surprising for a counterpunch player, given that the fact that they usually use the choker chord. Oh, right. Oh my gosh. That goes nowhere. So when I say multifaceted style in this video, I mean it's an all-rounder style that can adapt to compete with several other styles of play, of course. Okay. So so far, I like this multifaceted style a lot because, well, it looks a lot like what real tennis should be. So having this kind is pretty cool because you are decent in all shots, and you have one big shot, and that's enough if you can rely on this weapon. So I'm going to serve now. Well, it's the serve. It's not very strong, but it's enough to put the opponent in a difficult position and even to hit aces. As you can see, this style allows us to serve very decently. Even here, was a modified all-rounder style, a bit modified multifaceted style compared to the usual ones that they use. That has a bit less serve. So this style allows us to serve decently, especially if we can hit good spots on the service box, and then to follow up with a big forehand. Wow, that was so inaccurate there. And on the serve, of course, when you face a low serve, aggressive baseliner, it's a threat just to use your big forehand to return strong strokes. As you can see, the drop shot didn't work. This multifaceted style allows us to avoid being easily fooled by drop shots, actually, like the one that I just saved. We can catch them drop shots better than if we play the power serve build, for instance, with which we would have a very low agility. So you can modify this multifaceted style a bit to have more serve, making it look a bit like, yeah, you won't fool me as easily as you think you can, but well behind. This opponent is having a very, very good forehand, so let's see the stats. Yeah, this opponent has very high stats. 67 for Viktoria is huge. 69 the forehand, 63 your backhand. Tremendous stats. So we are going to change a bit. This player has slightly lower stats. 66 agility, 67 forehand, 62 backhands. But she's using a better string. Okay, hold on. Not really better actually, because the previous one was a frost chord, and this one is different. The frost chord gives you a very good critical hit, and this one is rather focus on the precision while countering the backhand, and it gives a long catch. Here the long catch cannot work if I put my return where I did. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so cool to be able to put your opponent in difficult position with the serve. Yes, the really serve was a 63, so that was slightly modified, multifaceted, which has a bit, yeah, a bit less of agility compared to the to my usual multifaceted style. So as you can see, I turn around the ball to hit mainly when the character does that automatically actually, but it turns around the balls to hit with the forehand mainly because the backhand is pretty weak compared to the forehand. It's just they're not just to return yeah, decent strokes. You're not going to win, as you can see. The return, the backhand return is very weak. It's really about not not giving to your opponent too much room to hit very strong returns on the backhand. So, oh my gosh, that is sometimes, yeah. I've just played them forehands very inaccurately. Well, I caught up a bit. So with that multifaceted style, your serve needs to be well placed to be effective. And with a 63, it's easier, of course, than if you were playing with the low serve aggressive designer or even a style having a serve around 50 or 50, even 55 actually. I would say that it's better to have a 63 of serve than having a 48 or 50 of serve, which is just helpful against very slow power serve players. Because against players having a very high agility, like this Kaito, who has who has a 68, I think. Yeah, 68 of agility. Looking at the stats that I noted, 49 forehand only, 43 backhand. So this one's clearly betting on his agility, even if the agility that he has is not very high compared to the Kaito players that I usually face in 2-7. So against this 68 agility, for instance, my server 63 is almost meaningless because for your serve to be really effective, it needs to be at least higher, and if possible, between 5 to 10 points higher than the agility of your opponent, actually. So versus 68 of agility, normally I should have a serve of at least 73, and if possible of 76, 77, which would be totally possible if we had the launches card, for instance, which is a 2-8 item. So with this multifaceted style, you will not be very quick to move, especially if if you are playing with a modified version, like this one where I don't have a very Good agility. Preferring to bet on the serve. But you will not be too slow anymore, actually, compared to the power serve plus big forehand style. So with that soft backhand that you have and just decent serve and agility, you should take a string, especially if you play in the Tour 7 versus opponents having higher stats. So all of my opponents have used strings in this video, and including the next match. So it would be suicidal to play versus them for me with the nylon string. I like to use the swallow body, which is the cheapest of all strings, different from nylon. MC8, let's take a look at this. Yeah, 68 of agility. He has reduced his stats on the forehand and backhand to put the more points on the agility, which is normal with a counter punch style. Okay, so this is the last match. This one was not too easy. Even if this opponent doesn't have huge stats in serve or in backhand, in forehand, I mean. But he is using a kind of all-rounder style as well. He has 40 agility, 60 serve, 55 forehand, and 46 backhand. And well, this match lasted quite long because, well, the opponent was using the Siberian wire, and of course, at one moment, the precision that it gives when the opponent is countering my forehand can pay, can give some good points. Yes, precision there. And then he turns to hit with his forehand. Well, that was easier here. Well, I would say that this multifaceted style works above all versus players who don't have very high agility. If they have really much higher agility than your serve, then, well, it will be a bit harder. But it will be easier anyway than if you were playing with a low serve aggressive baseliner, and that you don't have the haters threads or the lunges or anything like that. And this style can work as well versus players who haven't trained enough to return most of the time on the opponent's weakest hand. That means my backhand here. Okay. That was well done. All right. So during this match there were some moments I thought that I was going to kill the match, but that was not the case. Eventually, yeah, I gave him the occasion to equalize, to get back, and then, well, I take 1 point again, and then he just takes his back. That's often the case when when you play against another um all-rounder style player, because both of you have good serve, and if your opponent knows How to serve correctly? Well, yeah, I was a bit glad that to win that point because afterwards I knew that it would be easier. Okay, this is the last point. Yes, top shots can work like charm here. Well. Let's see the lineup. Here again, it was a modified version. Alright, here's my lineup. It's a bit different. Has less serve than the one that I use in those matches. Okay, so well, I hope you enjoy watching me do some practice matches with the multifaceted style with Viktoria in the Tour 7 of Tennis Clash, a sports game published by Wi-Fi Studios. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gameplay 365 to stay tuned for new videos of Tennis Clash. Thank you a lot for your support and see you soon on Gameplay 365. Bye bye.